Bow, 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 bow. Big up, everybody. Welcome back
Yeah.
to TJ Warren TV. Welcome back to yet another live stream, yet another episode of the American Idiot Show.
75.
75, bro.
Incredible.
75, man. 25 away from the big 100.
Yep.
And we will hit it. We're going to hit it this season. We're going to
For
hit
sure.
it. Bro,
The
like, I don't even know. We got to do something big for that. I'm going to have to take the day off. I'm going to have to send the wife out. Like, it's going to be.
Doing like maybe a couple giveaways. Maybe one of them would be like a FC25, PS5 or PS4.
Ooh,
I don't have a
maybe.
problem.
We'll see. We'll
Have
see.
a winner. Big up Match Day Guru. What up,
Big up
TJ?
Match Day Guru. What up, my guy? Yeah, no, dude. You know, just same old, same old. I've been able to sleep. I've been able to digest. I think yesterday I was extremely pissed off.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, you know, like I don't want to say I've resigned myself to another second place / top 4 finish, but it's looking pretty peak right now, man. And I was really looking forward to the show because I was like, you know, I want to hear what Dal has to say because, like, you know, it was pretty bleak. I was listening to Lee. I was listening to Northside yesterday, and you know, it's just they're just things that we didn't. Like, I'm grabbing my head because I don't even know what to say. Like, there are just things that we didn't fucking address, and now it's the worst thing, worst case scenario all of a sudden. And big up Flawless in the chat as well. Big up Flawless.
Yeah, I mean, you could totally tell like we were just short. We were short on everything from obviously the lineup, you know, missing Odegaard. But I want to ask you, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Are we really missing him that much? Right? Pause. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But number two is that we were short the transfer window. We're coming up short in the fact that we cannot score goals from just normal open play.
Yeah.
And whatever the problem is, if it's Martinelli, who let's get some clarity on that. 15 games, 0 goals, 0 assists. And we were given shit for Anthony. Remember the 007? Well, Martinelli's doubled that now. So what do we do? I mean, that's the real question. Is Martinelli to blame? No. You know, he wasn't the only factor why we didn't do shit yesterday. And I just say, I'm not going to say we had attempts on goal. I just said we just didn't do anything. I mean, we were lumping the ball forward and losing it, lumping the ball forward, losing it over and over and over. Like there's definitely, again, there's no plan B. And thank you, Match Day. 17 games, 0-0. 17 games, 0 goals, 0 assists. That you wouldn't even cut it in the championship with that.
Nope.
You know, I mean, he keeps playing them, you know, which I kind of understand because he's a hard player to wrap your head around because he does have that pace, right? And we know he has a foot for goal. He has an eye for goal. And when he is on, there's really maybe 2 or 3 other wingers that are at his level in the Prem, if that, right?
Yeah.
So to me, he's always a big miss in games when he's not playing. But now that big miss has become, it's like 10 men out there, dude.
It seems
one guy's not holding this. One guy's not doing this thing. It's 10 guys out there.
No, and I mean, you really felt it, especially yesterday when, you know, the times that he was touching the ball, he was giving it away or holding it too long. Like it's really concerning because, you know, we weren't. What did we say all season long or all off season that we weren't really worried about the left wing because we had Trossard and we had Martinelli over there. Now we get it with a little bit of a bug. We have to bring in Raheem Sterling to bolster it. And Raheem Sterling, like I'm sorry to say it, man, like he looks just as bad as Martinelli does. I don't really want to like let's not put fucking lipstick on this pig. Like Raheem Sterling has not looked good either.
Right.
Like the whole team, like I don't want to say the whole team because the back line has looked fine. Sans Ben White. I think Ben White could be doing a lot better, but like we're essentially depending on our back line to keep us in matches. I mean, and that's what happened yesterday. And we were 1 or 2 inches away from a Quadrado fucking worldie. You know what I mean? Like and if you watch it, we didn't get a chance to really do a post match. I guess we're kind of doing it now, but
Right.
like what I was really noticing is that like after the 60th minute, we weren't trying to win that game. We weren't
Mm-mm.
trying at all. We Declan Rice was essentially dropping back and being another center back essentially at
Yeah.
passages in the game. Like it was really negative, and I'm not, you know, going into Man City, I know we're going to play extremely defensive, but in these championship league stage matches that we need, Champions League stage matches that we need to
Mhm.
be getting points out of, we can't be playing like that. I don't care where we're playing. I
Right.
don't care if it's whether
Right.
it's in Italy or it's at the Emirates. We cannot play negative football, or else we will drop points, and that's what
Yeah.
we've already done.
If we played like that against even Everton, they'll beat us.
Yeah, like
It's like it was that bad. That is by far the worst performance this calendar year, you could say,
dude, I said
right?
yesterday going back 2 years.
2
I have
years.
not,
Okay,
bro.
well,
I have not seen a performance like that since we
the
started
the
2022
end of
23 that bad.
yeah. Yeah, then you have
Remember
to say
that?
the end of that. Yeah, the end of the season before last, right?
Yeah,
Right. When we dropped points to West Ham, dropped points to Southampton, dropped a stinker against Fulham. Yeah, no, you're right. And that's the thing. And that's why all the critics are out for us right now, is because what are we to do on Sunday? Like, is this performance going to bleed into Sunday? I hope not. I think that Arteta and the squad will review the film, see what went well, what
okay.
worked well and what didn't. Right. So there'll be that, but is it soon enough to fill the holes and patch up and figure out a strategy to attack? Because leaning back, whatever you want to call it,
Lean
it's not
back.
going to work. It's not lean back. Shout out Fat Joe. No, but the thing is that will not work at the Etihad. That will not work against City. So I think but do we come wide open to play? No, we come with sort of a balanced attack. But the counterattack, to rely on that, it's not working. We're not set up, I don't think, always for the counterattack, especially trying to counterattack City. Yeah, we're counterattacking Everton. I don't know, Wolves or somebody. That's a whole different thing. But the thing is, we have to rely again. We're going to have to rely again on David Raya and Gabriel and Saliba, right? Because the expectation is that Saka's not going to do anything. Havertz won't do anything. I mean, that's kind of what we're already seeing because they didn't do anything yesterday. We had
Yeah,
to rely on David Raya's man of the match again. I mean, what other squad has their keeper man of the match for like 4 games in the last 7 or 8 or whatever?
dude,
But the
isn't it
thing
isn't
is,
it insane? Isn't it
yeah,
insane that he's only conceded once?
yeah, yeah,
He's only
yeah, and that's a
conceded
tribute to
once.
him. Is that and the defense, of course, but when the defense is doing its job like it pretty much did yesterday, except for, of course, the penalty giveaway, but that was Thomas Partey, right? So the defense was pretty much doing its job. It's just we just can't string 3 passes together and attack. And I
Yeah.
don't know why. And bringing on, like you said, Raheem Sterling's not going to fix that. He's just going to jump right in and be another clog in the wheel, like we knew he would be when we signed him, right? It's like we're obsessed with this left side, right? Arteta knows it's weak, so he gets Trossard, right? He sees Martinelli up and down, he gets Trossard. And now Trossard is definitely up and down. He was absolute dog shit yesterday, by the way. And
Yeah.
then that doesn't fix it. So he goes way back old school to the guy he worked with 4 or 5 years ago. He goes back to Sterling, of all people, right? So now if Sterling doesn't work out, what's next, Arteta? Right? Are we going to bite the bullet and bring in someone like Rafael Leao, who's absolute crap right now at AC Milan? I've had some commentators are saying like they can't even believe that he's an AC Milan player. But there's wingers out there. We missed out on Neto, but there is other wingers out there. But that's another story too. But the thing is that, like Jacob said in the chat, shout out Jacob, we looked like frauds yesterday. We looked very fraudulent of how we know we can play.
Yeah, well, isn't this the same old story though? Well, it's not. The scenario is completely different because we've gotten hit with the injury bug early. Like this is one thing. At least in recent memory, I was like 5 or 6 years where we've just gotten hit with the injury bug right off the bat. Where we've gotten lucky the past 3 or 4 years, sans the Saliba injury a couple of years ago, or a couple of seasons ago. This is so. Not only do we always start slow. on the goal scoring front. That's what bugs me, is that we like the last 2 seasons now, we struggle
Right.
to hit the ground running.
It took a
Okay?
trip to Dubai last year.
Yeah, and it literally took a trip to Dubai, because we had lost what, 3 out of 4
Right.
going into that winter break, and
Right.
we don't have a winter break this time to
And
recover. We don't have time for this.
right.
And
No,
now we're
we
going into
don't.
our most important game of the season. I'm already predicting that we're going to lose.
Mhm.
Sorry. I'm going there already. They have such a strong squad, and even if we do park the bus, I feel like they're going to be able to break us down at least once.
Right.
You know,
That's not the way
even
to
with the
do
best
it.
defensive in the world, you have one of the best attacks in the world, the most prolific striker in the world right now. Like, he's eventually going to get through,
Mm.
and that's just kind of my thought. And look,
Yeah.
I would like to go, if it's okay with you. Like, I would want to go through each player and
Sure.
say, what do we need to see that's different? Because honestly, like, yeah, we can talk about how Martin Odegaard is the talisman in the middle, but there were so many individual performances yesterday that didn't include the back line, that were absolute garbage. Like,
Right.
it was horrible. So
But
David
but
Rea,
if
obviously my man of the match, saving off
yeah.
the line, two shots in a row on a PK. He should have buried it, let's be honest, and he just didn't. But you still got to be
Right.
there. You still got to make the save. David Rea has been our
Pretty
player of the
incredible.
season so far.
No,
Absolutely incredible. And
let's drink to that.
yeah, Yuri and Timber, I thought he was fine. When he is being tasked with getting rid of the ball, he's calm on it. He's able to
Right.
get it out. He's my starting left back the rest of the season, as far as
Same
I'm
here.
concerned. Like,
Yep.
finally we have somebody back there that I am fully comfortable with starting game in, game out. What do
Yeah,
you
I
think
feel
about?
the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I I I don't trust Zinni. I think Zinni had some great movement when he was inverted once in a while. He played some great passing, but we need to defend. And that's obviously what Arteta's focusing on, is defense, and then working from there, right? Solidifying the defense and going from there, which I'm for, but I still want to see the attacking flair that we're known for, right?
yeah,
Essentially, but kind of not really showing that in the last few years. But no, Timber, I agree, is the left back. He's earned the position. Another Arteta purchase. He was brought in, either to be the left back or to cover for Ben White or play center back. Who knows? But obviously the left back's fitting him just fine. And it's going to still take him a few more games. We're already, 4 weeks in. So it's still going to take him a few games to, improve. But I agree with you. Timber is our starting left back for sure.
yeah, yep. And then, I mean, what can you say about Saliba and Gabriel? Like,
Two of the
best
best in
center back
Europe.
pairing in best center back pairing in the league. I'm just, we got to do more to help him out. To be honest, we got to do more to help
Right.
him out.
And Jorginho and Party aren't the ones to do that. And that's why I really want to see what this Moreno guy brings to the table. I think he's back in another 3 weeks or so.
Yeah.
So he'll probably be back before Odegaard. Well, I heard the date in November maybe for Odegaard, so that's way down the line. But
Could be even
I'm
more
not.
with because I was hearing tendon damage. So,
Yeah, maybe even longer, December. So
yeah.
until he's match fit, it may not be till January 1st. Oh, yeah, think
Yeah.
about that. Okay, so I just got sidetracked there, but, we'll see what
It's all right.
Moreno brings when he comes back, but again, and I go to the question, like, even with yesterday, would Odegaard have made that much of a difference? And I tend to think not, right?
I
And
think he would.
that's what we're gonna see over the next game after game after game, is him missing, but is the form of the whole squad really fallen off, right? Can we win games and get through with Trossard, and when Moreno comes back, and Rice, Jorginho, and Party, and in Wari, what role is he going to play?
Yeah.
So that's my
I
main thing, is like, did we really miss him?
yeah. Like, continuing to go through, and I want to get to this, because I think we do, and here's why. It's
Right.
because we're forced to put players in positions that I don't think they really trained to play in
Mm,
all off season. I was making this point yesterday, that no, and Match Day Guru is 100% correct. We only have one creative outlet, and it's Odegaard, and that's the point that I'm trying to make here, because there were two instances in that game yesterday where you had Gabriel Jesus making a run, or attempting to make a run, and you had Havertz playing in the 10, which I do believe Havertz can play in the 10, but I don't think he trains to play in the 10. And it was very, very it was very, yeah, exactly. It was very obvious that these guys were not on the same page yesterday. There was a pass, I believe, in the second half that Kai Havertz tried to make to Jesus, who was trying to break the line, and he fucking didn't even look over the right shoulder. Like he didn't know where the ball was. And I'm like, that shows that the chemistry level between these two is at fucking zero. Like that is a pass that professional footballers should be able to make to break the lines, throw a through pass in there. Gabriel Jesus does have to pace, and he can, and we've seen him finish those before. Like those are chances that you need to be acing. And it was extremely hard to watch. And look, like I don't even blame, like it's hard to blame Havertz for that, but he did absolutely nothing because he's not supposed to be playing in the 10 for us. He's not.
Right. And he gets lost in midfield in general.
Yeah. No, and we've seen this experiment last season.
It's on the left, the right, the center. Yeah. And I don't know if it's just footballing IQ or, like you said, it's the way we're set up at training. He's continually the striker. But again, with Odegaard and adding creativity, you have a point. You know, he is the only one. But in a game like yesterday, I can also see, what's up, babe? I can also see Odegaard, getting, caught up in it, right? To where he's ghost guard, right? So he's not, like, if everybody else is mid, he ain't going to be the one that sticks out. That's my point. He's going to be with the flow of the game, and he's going to be mid too, because that's what's happened. I can't think of a game recently, for sure, that he's really taken the game by the scruff of the neck, and that's what we don't have. We have Rice for that, but obviously he, just wasn't making it happen. No, nobody really did much yesterday. It looked like a bunch of long ball, losing possession to Ederson, and then they just pushed, as much as they can.
Yeah,
but they weren't even that good in attack, and that's why I think at the opposite side they were there for the taking. So it's one of those things where, to Odegaard, I get what, like, Matchday Guru is saying. The low block teams, they didn't low block yesterday. Clutch through balls, yeah, that's fine. But when the clutch doesn't happen, what's he doing?
Yeah.
And that creative thing will not happen if nobody else is on that creative level.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, and the
only creator that creates something, somebody has to be there to receive the ball.
Right. No, and I'm hearing what you're saying. But
I really want to see a long run with. Sorry, TJ. I don't want to see him injured and out necessarily, but I want to see how this team reacts and Arteta reacts for our captain to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, right? And as fucked up as it is and messed up as it is, this is a real challenge for this squad for each individual, and Arteta to keep us in the second place, beating City and doing what we have to do without our captain and our creative midfielder. He has to find a way. That's my point. If he does find a way, we're going to look at the real value that Odegaard brings.
Well, Odegaard and Arteta too. I mean, this is a challenge for Arteta as well, because
that's why I mentioned him as well.
Yeah, no. You bring up a fucking fantastic point. I'm glad you brought that up, because now we're gonna see how super Mick is. You know what I mean? Because honestly, like we've been bigging up this guy for a long time, and he is now challenged with managing a razor thin squad. I mean, we have a whole in my opinion, we have the midfield hole is going to cost us. And say what you want about Odegaard, like he presses way better. We were not pressing at all yesterday, and we have another, and we're not. And I'm going to tell you right now, I hate to play spoiler alert, we're not going to press Man City. We're going to sit back. We're going to sit back, and we're going to take on the pressure and try to hit him on the counter. But that's one thing that I wasn't seeing yesterday that I was expecting to see, is that Kai Havertz or whoever we're going to throw in that midfield position needs to press. We generate chances and get in teams' heads by that press. And that is one thing that
Right.
Odegaard does very, very well. Is
Yes.
like even if he doesn't have the ball, you can always depend on him pressing and putting pressure on. But we
Mm-hmm.
didn't have that yesterday, and they could just enter our half of the field unimpugned.
Right.
Like
But we could have. Like
we
we
could
could
have,
have. Like
but
pressing.
that isn't
Right.
who Kai Havertz is, though. That's the thing. That isn't who
That's
Gabriel Jesus is.
yeah. Well, Jesus was pressing, like Matthew said, for 15 minutes. I mean, he was still running up there, but I know what you're saying. Odegaard orchestrates the pressing, right? You see his hands spread out. He's telling players to watch their men, so forth. And I totally agree with that. He is great at pressing the defense. However, when that's not, to me, and again, in my opinion, that's not
Yeah.
something that, oh, he's good at that. Great. Well, Trossard can learn to do, or Havertz can do that. It's the direction, I think, that they're getting yesterday specifically from Arteta, right? Like Guru says, they only pressed 15 minutes because Arteta probably told him to hold back when he realized he didn't have Odegaard, right? I mean, he obviously knew that, but he didn't have that pressing power that Odegaard brings, so to speak. So I think he had him press and noticed quickly that it didn't work out. But then there was no real substitution for that, right? It's like we gave up. So my point is that you direct Havertz, Trossard, whoever's playing in that hole as the number 10, depending on the formation and so forth, that you just tell them to do the Odegaard things. And that to me is not a huge request.
No.
That to me is like, you trained without Odegaard now for a while. You should learn it. You're a professional footballer in our setup. You should know how to press the defense when they're sitting back in their own box with the ball, lollygagging around.
Yeah.
And the facts. Jesus didn't do it. He didn't do it well. Havertz didn't know what the hell. He didn't know what country he was in, I think, half the time. So with that said, right, you're missing that press, which I agree with. But that's not something that's just inherent to Odegaard, is my point. And it shouldn't be, right?
No, everybody can do it, but it just didn't look like Havertz was going to fit that mold. Like nobody and this might have been a direction from the manager, and I could be completely off, but the fact that we're sitting back against Atalanta doesn't tell me that we are going to be going far in this competition. Right. It doesn't inspire any confidence in me whatsoever to see that, and the lack of organization in the midfield. I mean, you brought it up. Let's talk about it. Thomas Partey and Declan Rice. Holy shit. Yeah, what is going on here? Declan Rice, man,
was trying to do something, but he doesn't have the experience. He just doesn't have the experience of trying to galvanize that kind of squad. That's why he's not the captain.
Yeah, good point. Good point. No, I mean, and look, like this guy, I swear to God, I think he's allergic to passing vertically. I swear to God, it's either back or horizontally. That's it. Like I cannot believe the posture with which we took. What the hell's going on with this camera? The posture with which we freaking took on that last 50 minutes of the game. Like it was embarrassing. It was absolutely embarrassing. Big upside every single time. My guy. But yeah, no, I just look. I expect more out of $100 million 6. And right. I don't want. We didn't pay $100 million for him to be a third center back against. In my opinion, in this Champions League, like I'm sorry to say it, Atalanta is mid compared to the other teams. And we just went in there and laid down. I mean, and look, everybody could say, "Oh, well, TJ was a defensive masterclass." They had Cuadrado attacking us. Okay, Cuadrado is older than I am. Okay.
37,
he's 30, he's 36, 37 years old, dude. Like, and I thought I was laughing on the watch along because I thought he retired. We have Danny Cuadrado. We have Cuadrado fucking putting in curlers that almost score, go in.
He was Zappacosta.
Like, what are we fucking doing
I know.
here, dude?
I know. I saw his name too. I know these
You
like
gotta
washed
dust
up
off. You gotta
pen
dust.
names.
You gotta dust off your fucking history books to remember who these guys even
Zappacosta,
are.
Italy international, though, man. I mean, some of these players like Daroon, right? Daroon is a solid player.
Yeah, and
Like
so is
the
the Kettler.
a
He's
solid
good.
player.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and Lookman, we obviously know he's probably their most dangerous. I never heard of their striker before, but he can't take pens anymore. But I mean, I'm surprised Lookman didn't take it. To be honest, if Lookman takes it, he probably scores. But I mean, just again, and to me, it reeks of not having a plan B. Your captain's out. What are you going to do? And this is what we get. And this is, and this is the opposite side of my argument, which I think you're making, is that, well, if we had Odegaard, and I think the Guru's making, we would have seen more creativity, would have seen A, B, and C. But that's not necessarily true, because we've seen Odegaard, like I said before, blend into the match, right? To where he's just sort of there. You don't hear his name, you don't really see him. That's why we call him Ghost-Odegaard. And I just don't think he's the type to take this squad by the scruff of the neck and say, let's go get that goal, guys, at Atalanta. Again, I mean, because I don't know. I just think that he's very he's pretty divisive to me, because there's a weakness to him that I don't like, but then the creativity and the way he moves the ball and the way he sees the pitch is fucking bar none.
Phenomenal.
He can put a pass anywhere. Incredible shot, all these incredible attributes. But the 2-3 that really hang with me in my head are just the disappearance in big games, the real lack of leadership. I think he's learning that still. I think he's still kind of learning that as he goes a bit.
Yeah,
and then
he definitely has a leadership style that's all his own.
Right, and literally. Then some of the way like he sometimes he gets down, right? He'll make a bad pass and put his head down, and that body language is infectious to the squad, right? As a captain, like he'll make a pass that goes past Havertz or something, right, and goes for a goal kick, and you'll see him put his head down. As a captain, you just can't be doing that. I tell my 13-year-old son in basketball not to put your head down when you miss a shot. And here's captain of Arsenal Football Club putting his shoulders low, head down, looking at the ground when 2 or 3 things don't go right. And that's not going to work. You can't spread that throughout the squad. And so that's why I'm saying, like yesterday, is he that much of a miss? And what if by God, the football gods, the stars align, whatever you want to say, that we beat City on Sunday without him, and we go on a run of winning games without him? Then the question has to be, what value does he really bring besides the creativity and the pressing, which you can't find that in other players. Creative players are out there.
Yeah, I just don't think that. I just think he's such a creative outlet that I think we're gonna miss him. Like we're just gonna miss, like you said, those passes in the final third. Yeah, they don't always end up. They always end up retaining possession, but they don't always end up being, the assist or the pre-assist, right? It's just like, yeah, we rag on Odegaard, but he is obviously the anchor in the offense in the final third of the pitch. Like he is the guy. And now we need somebody to step up. And honestly, in this starting 11 and on this bench, I don't see it. And that's what worries me. We're going to need to change something up. We're going to need to change something up. We have to. We have to.
It's a little bit more than I think than just a formation change. It's going to, he's going to have to really specify to these guys what he wants to do on Sunday and make his instructions clear.
Yep.
And concise. And I think that's part of the mess up, as we went into Atalanta thinking one thing and it turned out to be another. And he didn't have a plan B.
Yep. No, I hear you 100%. AFC always, big up, my guy. I hope you're well. He says, question, if 4 or 5 players aren't performing, doesn't the blame go to the manager? Yes or no? Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that. Then the answer is yes, because it's up to the manager to keep these guys' heads up at the end of the day. You have all these sports psychologists, you have AirPod Albert out there, you have everybody to support these guys and make sure that they're in tip-top shape, in good form, ready to play a football match. We didn't see that yesterday. I think I saw Martinelli, I don't know what's wrong with him, but obviously no sports psychology is saving or coaching is saving his ass.
Right.
Gabriel Jesus, I don't want to see him in the 9 ever again. If you're going to play him, you need to play him on the wing. I don't want to see him anywhere else. And then, Thomas Partey. I mean, I think that was one of his worst performances I've seen in an Arsenal shirt.
2 in a
Like,
row. 2 stinkers in a row.
Yeah, man. Like, and the whole hoof it out strategy once we leave the island is not going to work. It's not going to work. Like,
right.
Look, and we have to play our next Champions League match is PSG at home. And I hate for all of you guys that, are tuning in and keeping count at home. PSG are a lot better. It doesn't matter if they're even without Mbappe, they're better.
Yeah.
They're
they
better.
Look good. I've watched a few.
And they and Enrique, they are building something out there at PSG. And if we don't shape up, we could get beat at home by the French.
Spank us. You can spank us, yeah. No, in match they said Inter beat Atalanta, right? 4-0, and we got to play Inter as well coming up, right? I just really question at times, and especially games like yesterday, if Odegaard really made the difference.
Yeah,
and it really I think just a matter of opinion.
Can I say why? Just one more argument as to why.
Yeah.
I think he would have, just because there was no link up, there was no nothing was getting into the final third. That was actually like
true,
really threatening. When was the only time that we threatened was when Saka had that dead ball kick outside of the box that almost went in. Other than that, I don't recall us having one threatening attack.
There was one in the 15th minute that Thomas Partey kind of hit the post.
Oh yeah.
Went through and Thomas Partey ran onto it or something.
Sorry, that was buried underneath my nap that I took at halftime.
Right, exactly. When I was doing the watch along with Jez, he was thanking me for just joining him because he would have fell asleep. He said during the stream. I said I would have fell asleep out on my couch out in the living room watching the telly. So yeah, no, good thing we did that.
All me and Connor did was cuss, and we barely even talked about the game, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the only so to finish my point about Odegaard, by the way, guys, smash the fucking likes, okay? Smash the likes, subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 1,400. We're killing it. Don't worry about it over here. And thank you for joining us. Of course, this is not fun to talk about, and I don't feel like we've really been in this position in a minute, because we have seen pretty consistent success. But the only reason why, Dal, I think that we're missing him is because how do I say this? I'm trying to form my thoughts here.
Well, you said an anchor earlier. Yeah.
So Tottenham, right? We were not really ever in a position to create in that game. Unless it was off the set piece. I mean, they had possession most of the time, and I think with Odegaard in the middle, that doesn't really happen. Atalanta, same thing. Brighton, I mean, when we drew against Brighton, we had 10 men, so I can't really say that. I mean, but at Aston Villa, he played really well. First match against Wolves, he played really well, but it's where we are going to miss him and where we are going to lose games is going to be our next Champions League match against PSG, because we have Bolton next, and I don't even expect him to start that. I expect Manieri to start. And we got Leicester and Southampton. So these are games like, if you're going to get injured at a time, like this is a time to get injured so he can recoup. But and I think there is enough depth in this very, very thin squad to make up for it. But if he's still out when we have to play Liverpool in October, we're fucked. Like, yeah, I hate to say it.
Yeah, he does. I probably was a little bit harsh about saying he doesn't bring value, but you're right. No, I mean, to kind of close the door on it, you're right. We need our captain. The team, the squad is focused around him and his creativity and his pressing. And yeah, I mean, there's an argument to be made that he was missed yesterday for sure. And against Tottenham, I would even agree more.
Yeah,
but we've got to find a way. I mean, is signing somebody else in January when he's just coming back, I mean, to replace Are we replacing? I mean, I don't know what the deal is, and I don't want to dive into that too much, but the thing is that some people have to step up.
So going into the game, to kind of preview Man City this weekend, which I'm not looking forward to, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your starting 11? Because me and Tony, big up Tony Claude,
Claude.
got in a screaming match.
You don't have the answers. DJ.
Do you have the answer?
You don't have the answers.
Tony, do you
don't
have
the answers.
You don't. He was telling me I didn't have the answers. I was telling him he didn't have the answers. Who's your starting 11? Because this is like, and play along in the chat too, please. Like, who do you guys want to see? Who do you expect to see? Like, because I made my point, and I'll make it again after you go off, Dal. But like, I think it's going to be extremely defensive, and we're just going to try to get a point.
Right. So see, that depends. If we go defensive, I'm thinking he'll do another 4-2-3-1 like he did at Tottenham. Or if he doesn't decide to go completely offensive, he'll do 4-3-3. So with that said, I don't want to go defensive number one. I want to play as much balanced as possible, if that even makes sense, right? I want to see the center backs moved up the pitch a bit more, try and contain them in City in their half for as much as possible. We know that's hard, but it's not impossible, right? It's not impossible. So we need the right players for that. So let's say he does do 4-3-3, right? So I'm thinking, of course, Timber, Starsky and Hutch, Ben White, David Raya. The midfield is where it gets pretty tricky. But we got Rice, Jorginho, and Partey is pretty much it, right? Kind of has to be those three. Yeah. I would put Rice on the left, Jorginho at the 6, and Partey on the right. Big up, Anthony.
Big up, Anthony. How's the trailer? Or the tractor, sorry.
And then on the left, I think I would start Sterling, Havertz, and Saka. That's what I would do. The same one, the same as always.
Dal, I'm sorry to laugh, but you're just.
It's bro. Just even say Sterling. I mean, Jesus.
If you don't laugh, you're gonna cry, type of thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Martinelli does not earn a starting spot in my 11. Trossard doesn't start in my 11, right? So it has to be fucking Sterling. Let's just keep going down the line of left wingers, I guess. Sterling, Havertz, and of course we have no other choice but those three in the midfield. But I did watch you and Tony get into it yesterday a bit, and calling for Nwari to start against City is suicide. Sorry, Tony. But I mean, if we're up 3-0 and it's the 75th minute, maybe. But again, Nwari needs Bolton. I would give Nwari a full 90 minutes of Bolton before I put him in front of any top 6 Premier League team.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If it was Everton, maybe I'd start him or give him a go in the second half if we're up 4-0 or something. But this game of so much magnitude, that's a lot of pressure for a kid. And you're going against an experienced midfield. Even with KDB out, they can play Kovacic, Nunez, who will have to be used. Rodri will be there. So you want Nwari and Rodri to go against each other in one of the biggest games of the season already?
It's going to be the Ballon d'Or winner against the 17-year-old.
Right. And I heard your guys' discussion about, well, if you don't play him when and so forth. And then Flawless was 1,000% right. Fergie's not going to put in certain players against certain teams. You got to be strategic about it. It's chess. It ain't checkers, bro. But Nwari just is not ready for this type of pressure. I don't think, but maybe he is. But I don't think Arteta will start him. And then a creative spark has to come from somewhere, right? It's up to the players inside them to find that spark, that creative spark, right? It's up to them to find that themselves. It can't just be, Odegaard It's all you, right? It can't just be, Sokka. You have to do everything. They have to share in this misery like we do, but they have to share in doing their part and trying to get a fucking 3-point win. It's up to them to be creative. I don't want to hear too much. Oh, we didn't win because we weren't creative enough. Well, what does that even really mean in the end? I want to get into that discussion. But
no, it's a good point.
Play hard football. Play tough football. Knock them down. Jack Grealish bodied Thomas Partey 3 seasons ago. Why? Right? That kind of shit. Like, push. If you can't get them off the ball, push them down. I don't care if they get 5 or 6 yellow cards. I don't care if it's 8 yellow cards, TJ. Yeah. As long as we get the 3 points, but we're going to get 3 points. But that's my 11.
Yeah. And big up Match Day Guru. We gotta get Match Day Guru on the channel. He says, by the way, TJ, I wasn't saying Wanyeri for City, but he needs time on the pitch. Playing Leicester and Southampton next, we need him to start. No, and I was agreeing with that. I was saying at the beginning of the season that I want to see this kid play serious minutes.
Yeah, sure.
But there's a difference between Man City serious minutes and mid-table, at home to Fulham, at home to Southampton and Leicester type minutes. Like Bolton, he needs to be playing the entire 90. I agree with Dal. Like this is where you get the experience. And look, the kid is a talent. Nobody's denying that he's a talent. He's one of the best. He's one of the best kids to come out of our academy in a while. Like I think he can be up on those Saka levels in the next 3 or 4 years. But that's next 3 or 4 years, guys. Like we're talking like he's 17 years old. Like, right. And we're expecting him to go out there and be the next Cess or Wayne Rooney. Like, come on, guys. Let's be serious. Let's be serious here. That's why we get bantered a lot as Arsenal fans, is because our heads are in the clouds a lot of the time. And we gotta, not necessarily me or Dal, but a lot of our fan bases. So let's say, well, you know what I mean. Let's stay real. Let's stay realistic here. No, I said if I were the manager, I would go defensive, and it's because I'm not feeling positive. I'm feeling very negative, and I'm afraid we're gonna go out there and we're gonna get embarrassed. Like, and really that's what I'm afraid of here. Like, and people, oh TJ, that's so negative. Back the boys. No, I'm backing the boys. Pause. I am. But we got to be realistic about who we are playing against. We have to be realistic. So here's where I went. I went with a 3-5. I think I went like 3-5-2-1. I think is where I went, or something weird like that.
That's the Pep Guardiola.
Yeah, no, I'm going super defensive. No, so like Ray and Net, obviously, Saliba, Gabriel, and White, and then as wingbacks, I want Jesus and Saka. And then Trossard, we got to have Trossard, Rice, and who am I fucking missing? Partey or Jorginho. Actually, I would put Jorginho in after Partey sucked. And then Havertz up top. Like, we have to be defensive. Like, I'm sorry. To get anything out of this match. And look, people are, TJ, you're celebrating a draw. I would be happy with a draw. I would take a draw right now.
But he's not going. One thing I say about that formation, let alone, I don't think he'll deviate.
There's zero chance he'll do it.
Formation that much, right? I was surprised he played 4-2-3-1 against Tottenham. You know me, I've been calling that out since we started the show. I've been calling that out since we bought Rice in. 4-2-3-1 to me is pretty defensive. I mean, that's basically six defenders, right? You could.
My whole thing is without Odegaard, we're not going to have the possession that we normally have. And even when we played against Man City last time with Odegaard in the squad, they dominated us on possession, and we had chances, but they were on the counter. Remember Martinelli's non-pass to Saka that will live rent-free in our heads for years to come. Like,
which he did again against Tottenham when he didn't pass it and shot it
again.
Yeah,
Martinelli.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have him starting. That's why I think this Sterling.
I don't think he'll start. I think that's why he played. I was saying this yesterday. I think that's why you played all 90 yesterday.
But I mean, he starts. Is Trossard really the one we want starting though? everyone's made the argument now, especially after yesterday's catastrophe, that he
I
is
think
just impact sub. So that's why Sterling's the only one. If
No,
he
I
plays
agree with you.
Wari on the left, though, I would. If he started in Wari on the left because he wasn't satisfied with anybody on the left, that would be peak.
Yeah, I don't see Wanyeri starting anywhere other than the 10, and I don't see him starting in this match anyway. So
Right.
I just man, I don't know. Match Day Guru says I'll give Martinelli until the end of December. If nothing changes, get rid of him. Club over player anyway. No, I agree with the last part of that, but I mean, we're not selling Martinelli this season. Like, let's be real.
Yeah,
we're not.
His
So
value as must be plummeting as we speak.
No, it is
90 million, 80 million two seasons
Dude,
ago.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Remember, we were talking about this 18 months ago. We were talking about this 18 months ago, Dal, where some people were rating Martinelli over Saka. Like,
for which game? Yesterday?
What?
Or Tottenham? I would rate him. I would rate him higher against Tottenham than I did Saka. You know, Saka got the corner, but that's a corner kick. I mean, yeah.
I just think Saka just gets marked out of the game, and Arteta doesn't really have an answer for it. A lot of people are blaming Bukayo Saka's drop in form purely on Bukayo Saka. I really don't think it is so. I think this formation isolates him, and if he doesn't have anybody helping him with an outlet, he gets hit by the left back and the center back every single time. And what is he supposed to do? He just gets absolutely manhandled. Like, without Ben White overlapping, without Odegaard providing an outlet for him, he'll get beat up. Like, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's either he passes it back to Odegaard or he tries to run down the 18-yard box line and loop it in far post with his left foot, or he tries to dink it off to Ben White for either getting the ball back or Ben White crossing it. But either one of those three, it's just none of it really is done well anymore. I can't believe he had an incredible season last season. It doesn't get talked about, but
no, he does, and
he really had an amazing season last season. And
he was our biggest producer last season, but certain people are saying he's shit. Okay, whatever.
Firmino.
Big up Firmino.
That's why, especially yesterday, it was so evident that if one player is really off, it kind of sets the tone for everybody else. It's like everybody was back yesterday. Like, I mean, you can point two or three your finger out at any player you want, but like Matchday said, besides Saliba and of course Raya, everyone was really, 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 really mid to bad. Like when I did the review show with Jazz, real quick, I said, besides Gabriel, Saliba, and Raya, everybody else gets 4s. Everybody else gets 4s.
I don't disagree with that.
Saliba gets an 8, Raya gets a 9 10 out of 10, and Gabriel probably gets a 7.5.
I think Timber deserves a 7, but Ben White.
Timber, okay.
But I will say that Ben White was absolute shit yesterday. Yeah. I don't understand why. Like, where's the overlap? Where has that gone? I don't understand why there's no support for Saka on the right. He gets isolated and then Saka shit. He's not producing. He should be able to make something out of nothing. Dude, he has 3 players on him. Like freaking Matchday Guru said, 3 players on him.
Right.
You do that.
And Arteta, this is what pisses me the fuck off, should know this by now. He can see it and he knows it, but he doesn't know how to fix it. Or if he does, then fix it. Right? That's the thing. And that's where I get to say, if Saka's triple teamed, there's nothing Odegaard can do to fix that game. If he passes it back to Odegaard, if he can pass it out of a 3-man fucking marking, right? There's just, if Odegaard was there, there's nothing we could have done differently. Nothing different would have happened because he would have blended right in with the rest of them. And that's the issue I have with him. And that's why it's going to be peak this Sunday, because somebody needs to step the fuck up. And it has to be Rice. It has to be Saka. It has to be Havertz.
It has to be our star players.
Yeah. It has to be the star boy. It has to be Rice. It has to be Jorginho. It has to be fucking Party, because our defense is carrying us all in a backpack, and that backpack is going to break. The strap is going to break.
Big up
Bullshit.
good we are. This shit's funny. Smash the likes, guys, by the way. Get us up to 20 likes
What do we
before
need
the
to
end of the
score
stream.
goals for, especially in Champions League when other teams are scoring 6-7 goals and we're 0-0, 1-1. Yeah, that's going to get us far in a 6 fucking team table. We're not getting out of this table, bro, of 6 teams. There's no way.
No, I don't know. I agree. No
There's
way.
6 teams we got to beat just to get out of this mini table fucking thing.
We're gonna
We're
gonna be finishing in that 9th to 16th area, and we're gonna have to play it, and we're gonna have to play in. So we're gonna have to play into the knockout rounds. So get ready for that. And by the way, guys, that's more fucking games. So
yeah, nice transfer window, Arteta and Edu.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy watching Arsenal Football Club, but when it's at the detriment of Arsenal Football Club, I'm going to call it out. So it is what it is.
Do you think
it is what it is?
Do you honestly think? Let me ask you this real quick.
Go.
Do you honestly think if ESR would have had a chance to get on the pitch yesterday, that he would have made any difference whatsoever?
No, I don't.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't. And people keep bringing that up, and like it was kind of cool. Yesterday, we we had a bunch of people. Lee redirected to us last night.
Oh,
we had a bunch of people come in, and we were talking about ESR. And I think a lot of the people that came in, negative, positives, whatever, understand that ESR would not have been the key. There's some people that are disagreeing, but I don't remember who it was that was disagreeing with me. But don't let what's happened over the last 2 weeks make you question the fact that ESR just doesn't fit into the system anymore. He's gonna go and he's gonna cook at Fulham, and he is, and good for him. Okay. I am an ESR fan. I think he's a good guy. He wants to fucking win. He wants to. He's a baller, but he's not. Yeah. Here's the thing, Dal. He's not a baller in this system. And while we still have the Spanish Lego head as our fucking manager, it's not going to go anywhere. His career isn't going to go anywhere. It's like Football Capo said. It was getting fucking awkward. He needed to leave. He needed to go.
Yeah, 100%. Shout out Capo. Yeah, that was awkward. Yeah, I did catch him when he said that. That's true. It was getting awkward because you start to think like this kid is just basically a fucking house. It's like he's just living at the fucking training facility, right? And it was time to cut ties for sure. And I wanted to cut ties years ago, but again, I wanted that right player in to replace him, right? So, I mean, it was such a weird sale anyway that we didn't have enough time or common sense to find a replacement of an attacking mid.
Yep.
Right. I just, and you make a good point. There's a shit ton of games this season, right? And that's not even counting the friendlies that people are going to be in. African Cup of Nations in January. Yep. Thomas Partey will be gone. Is again another player. Is that a really big loss? Is it one of those? I mean, he was great 2 seasons ago. He was, it was terrible last season because he was injured for half of it. But the season before last, he was great. Where's Deji? Still in hiding. No. He hit me up on Instagram, DM me on Instagram. He's like, bro, I'm never hiding, blah, blah, blah. I was like, motherfucker, you were hiding all Sunday. Like, all Sunday you were hiding last Sunday.
This fucking guy.
Anyway,
big up.
I talked Monday and obviously went on the show with him yesterday. So
big up Deji. We will have him on the show back again very soon. Do you want to do predictions real quick before I gotta go back to work?
You gotta go back to work?
Friday. Dude, I gotta go back to work. I'm sorry.
Cheers to me.
Cheers to you, my friend.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. I'll the spreadsheet will return next week. I haven't had it. Okay. It's been so crazy. When I say work has been crazy, it's been crazy. I'm really sorry.
Computers back there, something. What's going on back there? You got like three computers going on.
Dude,
what's going on back there?
Dude, and I got a laptop. I got a laptop downstairs that I got to freaking work on too, man. It's been nuts. Anyway, all right. Rapid fire. Play along with it in the chat. And I am saving off the live chat. So if you guys want to throw in your chats and throw in your predictions, play along. we will bring the
Party is
spreadsheet
not
back.
injured, Party is
No, he's
not.
not. Party is not injured. No, he's not. Okay, here we go.
And location.
London Derby. West
Ooh.
Ham, Chelsea. West Ham at home.
Chelsea 3-1.
Ooh, okay. I was going 1-1. I went 1-1 draw on that one.
Chelsea. Hey,
Oh, big up Arsenal X-rated Aaron in the building. Big up Aaron.
Let's get him on the show in a couple weeks, Aaron. Friday nights. Let us know if you're available.
Yeah. Let us know. We're past due. Aston Villa at home to Wolves.
Villa 3-1.
That's mine too. Damn it. Fulham at home to Newcastle.
2-2.
1-1.
Fulham dinks 189th minute.
Yep. 1-1 is what I'm going to say. Southampton versus Ipswich Town. Relegation derby.
1-1.
1-1? Oh, okay. I'm going 2-1 Ipswich. I'm going 2-1 Ipswich.
All right.
Shitbirds versus Brentford at the toilet bowl.
2-1 Brentford.
Yeah. No, I'm going 2-1 Brentford too, and I'm not even taking the piss.
They don't have they're terrible. They don't have a solution for Mbeumo.
Yep.
Brentford's midfield is not that bad.
Yeah, they suck.
We'll be in touch, Aaron.
It's a 3-1 Brentford. They are terrible.
Okay, Matt, they go 4-1.
I need it, and I need it honestly because
well.
Sundays, Dal, I don't know about you, but Sundays are now Spurs YouTube and chill nights for me. Just listening to an absolutely fucking breakdown.
I was having a ball Sunday evening and Monday morning, watching all Jacob and all the fraud Spurs fans. Gabriel's better than Romero. I thought I was right. We can't win.
How great was it that Romero was at fault for that goal?
It's great when you get pushed like that and you fall. And then they fucking score, bro. It was brilliant. No, I lost my shit when he scored. That was a fucking great header. I don't care. No keeper would have stopped that.
No, fan fucking tastic. I agree. Leicester City at home to Everton.
Leicester City at home to Everton. 3-0 Leicester City. Jamie Vardy with a hat trick.
No, yeah, there you go. I went 2-1 Leicester. I think Everton. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Dal. Dyche's fucking days are numbered. They are numbered.
He's done.
Yeah,
it's him and Big Fat Ange are up for grabs come December. If any shit club wants to grab them.
Oh my god. Liverpool at home to Bournemouth.
Liverpool 4-0.
I think Liverpool 5-0. They're gonna fucking kill them. They just got embarrassed at home.
Yeah, they did.
They're gonna RIP Bournemouth.
They beat Bournemouth 2 seasons ago, I think 9-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they pounded them 9-0 a couple years ago.
I think they're gonna pound them. I'm going 5-0 Liverpool. Like it's gonna be a pounding.
Yeah.
This is the one that I'm really looking forward to watching outside of obviously Arsenal, Man City. Crystal Palace at home to Man United.
Palace kicked the shit out of them. Was it 4-1 last?
4-0. 4-0.
But that Palace had that real purple patch, right? The most winningest Premier League club in the last 8 games or something like that of the season. They won their last 6 out of 7. He got them a total of 18 points at the end, but they are not the Crystal Palace beginning the season. I got to go United 3-1. I think. United, yeah.
Oh, you think?
United just pounded the shit out of who was it? Barnsley.
Yeah, it was 7-0, but that's what they should be doing against League One teams.
Right, and that's what they essentially will probably. I'm not saying they'll beat him 7-0, but if he keeps with those same players and system, as with his big bald fucking nevermind head or mastermind head, whatever the fuck it is like, okay, guys, just stick with what we did the other day against Barnsley. Just stick with that, fellas. Just same lineup. Just do those things that you did, right? And Crystal Palace's defense is soft. 3-1 United.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Defensively, I think they're soft, bro. I think Palace's defense is soft.
I'm going. I predicted a Crystal Palace win yesterday, just to get under Flawless's skin a little bit. But I think it's gonna be a 1-1 draw. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
Crystal Palace haven't won a match yet.
So. bleeding right into my point. They had that purple patch, and there's been nothing since. And I couldn't remember if they haven't won or not. I didn't think they have. And United, I'll go 2-1. You're right. Three's a stretch, so I'll go 2-1.
Okay. Brighton versus Nottingham Forest.
Oh, that's good. See, now that I would like to watch that game. I am really impressed with Forest. I got to go 2-1 Forest. I know Brighton are up there. Brighton playing some decent football, but Forest just look like he has them figured out now. This Nuno does. And of course, our guy Yeti. I got to go for Forest. They just look that much better. I think them and Brighton are very similar. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I would agree, and that's why I think it's going to be 2. I think it's going to be 2-2. Okay. I'm going 2-2. I was very impressed.
I'm gonna go 2-1. I'm gonna go 2-1 Forest.
Yeah, I'm just impressed. I've been impressed with Brighton and the way that they like their squad is young, except for some of the Liverpool pensioners that they got in there, Milner. But it's one of those things where I've just been impressed with what their young manager has been doing. Forest looks great, but Brighton at home, like if this was at the city ground, I think I would say Forest wins 2-1, but I'm going to go Brighton Forest draw 2-2. 2-2. Okay, and then last and in my opinion, least, yes, big up BBK Sports every single time. Hey, thank you for that feedback, by the way, BBK Sports. I appreciate it. We will keep doing the late show. We're having a great time, and it helps out the people on the West Coast and all the fucking absolute warriors out there in the UK that refuse to sleep. They enjoy that show too. So we'll keep doing that. Man City Arsenal. What do you got?
Oh God, we just dived into this, didn't we, for the last hour and 3 minutes? Shit, it's really hard to tell. You just have to give me a second here.
No, it's fine. I'll go. So, you want me to go first?
If you want, but there's no KDB, right? He is officially out for sure. Yeah, okay.
No KDB.
You go ahead. Your show. You're the host.
It's our show. Number one. Number
Johnny.
Yeah, it's our show. Number one. Number two, I'm going 1-0 Man City.
1-0.
1-0. I don't think.
So you're basically saying that we lock up Holland and possibly Foden or somebody, or Rodri scores, right? Is that what you're predicting?
Rodri, it could be even that Belgian fraud Doku. Like it could be like the amount of shit I've talked about Doku, he'll probably score.
Savio.
Yep.
Savio's in, right? And Gooder ER's right. They don't need KDB at this point, right?
Well, no, I mean, and defensively they're solid. I mean, they still got John Stones back there. They still got,
Akanji and Diaz.
Diaz, dude. And Diaz.
I've got to go 2-1. I've got to go 2-1 Arsenal.
You think we're gonna score? 2-1 Arsenal.
Yeah. I gotta go positive, dude.
Okay.
I have to. I mean, there's just a part of me that thinks fuck, God damn.
That's how, dude. Our guy, you know what our guy Southern Gooner would call that?
Hope strategy. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, you would. Yeah.
Wild, Dal. It is wild, ER. No, because you're right. I think what's going to happen is because we were defensive yesterday. If he changes it up too much, it's going to be confusing for little Kai Havertz. It's going to be confusing for the squad, right? And it is a delusion, ER. No, because yesterday I said 3-1 City. I got to go 3-1 City. As much as I want. Come on, casually. I picked your guys to win this weekend.
Marshall calling people frauds. Like, this dude just needs to look into a mirror, and we can talk about it. Potch out.
Man in the mirror. Potch out. Potch to US.
Big up and subscribe to Marshall. Go subscribe to Marshall and give your condolences because Potch is now following him around now. Be careful, Marshall. Once he gets sacked from the U.S. men's team, Peru's gonna hire him next, and then you're really fucked.
Potch to Peru. 2-1 Man City says Clement. Yeah. Big up Clement.
Big up Clement as well. Yes,
Who do
absolutely.
you think? Who are the scorers, Clement?
Yeah.
Who scores the 2 city goals? Is it just Holland bags too? Or see, that's the thing. If we lock up Holland, there's that's great, but it's not like they don't have other players that can't score. Right?
Yep.
He's like, oh my God, stop.
Dude, he knows, man. He knows. It's all good. He knows.
Wait, what did Aaron say there? If we come to the draw.
We come out with a draw on Sunday. Well, yesterday was vile. It'd be acceptable week. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And I know it's super. I know it's super fucking negative or whatever. But yeah, hit the likes you fried. Don't move my boy Nico Jack in front of goal. God, RSM. You know the Chelsea fans just invaded, and you know what that means, Dow? It's a perfect time for us to end.
Yeah, kind of like their dreams of winning another title in the next 5 years.
All right, big up, Dal. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I gotta abbreviate it. I gotta get out of here.
You're good. I got the day off today. I'm chilling. Road to 10K, which I'm only at 160 subs, so it's a long road.
You got it. You got this. You got this fucking shit.
The 10K. No, but anyway, thanks again, man, for a great show today. I think we dived in a couple things. I think I'm glad we got to talk about Odie. You know, what's his real impact and so forth. So that was what I really wanted to speak about today. And of course, the City game. But let's just hope we can do something different, TJ. But I'll be watching. What time's this game again? What time is it at your place? 8 a.m.
It's 10:30 at my place.
Okay, so it's 8:30 my time. Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you, Clement. Get the Oregon Goon to 10K. That's right. Long way to go, but we'll get there. Shout out every single one of you in the chat. Arsenal X-Rated will be in touch about joining us on a Friday night. Obviously, you're available. You're probably at home just chilling, having a beer. Thanks again, everyone in the chat. TJ, it's peak, but I do have some belief that we'll get a goal. I hopefully, Havertz can bag one, Gabrielle, but we don't see we won't know until we play the game, TJ. But we will know it's shit from the first 10 or 15 minutes.
Yep.
Right. Nope. That's the thing. We'll know what the deal is in the first 10 or 15 minutes. So, Arteta, you need to get it right. Again, shout out to everyone in the chat. Happy Friday.
Facts. Big up everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for the mods. To the mods, as usual. Thank you to everybody who always sends in super chats. Really, really appreciate it. We're going to send you over to Lee Reacts, where he's watching some La Liga game that I have no idea who any of these teams are, but, it is what it is. Just go over there, say TJ Warren TV Raid. And we will see you for the Man City watch along. Until next time.
Now let's not take the piss here.
I certainly wasn't.
Well, I think you are.
Yeah, you definitely are. Okay, we'll see you later.